Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna pull a card because I'm not gonna lie, this energy is extremely nebulous, but it's wanting to be expressed. So I'm not even really too sure what this is about. I feel like that's Saturn. I seen Saturn at the bottom of the deck. I'm just seeing if anything else wants to come out here. Okay, we'll take those two. We have autumn at the bottom, so this is something with silver. The first full moon in autumn could be significant time frame here. Yeah, this was Saturn. So there's definitely something here about time. Ash, very interesting. And sap of the moon plant. Very interesting. Let me zoom in real quick so you can see these better. So I'm immediately thinking of how just everything, in a sense, turns to ash over time. This autumn card also is giving me this energy of, wow, and right under that is winter. If I could pick it up. Right under that is winter. So there could be a period of 6 months here that's significant. Like 6 more months to the end of a contract or something like that. But when I'm thinking of ash, I thought of this card here as a wildfire. This is kind of what it's giving me, and how visually it's terrifying, it's destructive, it burns everything down. But that ash, that fire, has served a significant purpose to nourish the soil, to replenish the soil, so that it can continue to grow different trees and whatever, right? I'm going to read this sap of the moon plant because I feel like this had just recently came out in a reading that I did, but it wasn't a card that I pulled or anything. I think it was like bottom of the deck or something like that. I don't know, but I don't feel like I've never read this. Maybe I read it like once when I was going through the book, but definitely do not remember what it's about. Obviously, it's giving me like high priestess energy, but yeah, for sure. Let me think about this. There's something here about, like, you know how you hear the expression, like, not everything is, it's not black and white, like, it's not that simple, it's not that easy. There is something here where I just recently read a quote. I don't know if I can go back to it. I'll try and find it so I can read it. So I could read it to you, but let me see if I can find it first. Hold on. So I haven't yet found the exact quote that I am trying to tell you, but I did find something that's very similar. And it says, the thing is, you probably have all the information you need already. You just can't bring yourself to sit down and listen to it. So you just keep chain smoking podcasts and YouTube videos, never really thinking, knowing deep down that the answers you seek are in the silence you're avoiding. And I think I'll leave it at that. I kind of want to leave it at that. I do want to find that previous one that I seen, but there is something here about, like, just seeking too much information, and how too much knowledge, too much information can essentially hinder us. And it's like, yeah, not everything is black and white, but some things are. And we should just keep it at that. Why complicate simplicity? Okay, sap of the moon plant. Where would that be? Materials? Yes, the last one in materials before the 22 mysteries. So interesting. 169 is the page number. And I'll just read. Oop. Oh my god. I keep turning to fog, which was interesting because fog was at the bottom here of resin. Can't even see it, but okay. And I was getting very nebulous energy. It was very foggy, very hazy. And this could be all the information, all the knowledge, all the stuff kind of making things a little convoluted, a little disorienting. So, sap of the moon plant says nocturnal, sacred water of the unconscious. Sorry if you hear that. My my AC's just cleaning itself right now, but I don't think it's on a timer. It just turned off by itself. And it was on the dehumidifier, I believe, and it just turned off by itself. There's something there. But I'm going to keep it going. Nocturnal, sacred water of the unconscious. Sap of the moon plant is an ancient substance said to be born of water, plant, and moonlight. The elixir develops in the depth of the night and is thus a metaphor for the wellspring of the unconscious. When this alchemical magic is afoot, it is about dreams. Holy crap, okay. The answers you are seeking will not come from the intellect nor the opinion of others. It will surface from the depths as if rising from the ancient waters of your memory. Wow. The work is to rest, restore, and awaken your celestial senses. Do this by pausing, by releasing your grip. The sap of the moon plant signifies you are in the deep territory of destiny and the imagination. This is a mythic moment. The dream is waiting to show itself, but awaits your sincere invitation. Ask and rest. All will be revealed. To go deeper, it says track your dreams for the next 3 nights. To ponder the divine feminine, it continues to say sap of the moon plant is said to be linked to the pineal gland and can be increased. And can be increased by the practice of meditation. Sitting for a few moments, even in the evening, is especially beneficial. There are many names for this sacred elixir: soma, nectar, aqua vitae, aqua nostra, and vidium ardens. I don't know if I said any of that correctly, but okay, that's fine. Remember, dreams are the mother tongue of humanity. And that's exactly what I was getting here. It's like you need to, and that's the quote that I'm gonna find that quote now, because it was saying exactly that. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, by the way, I meant to show you this, but I started your reading like 11:53 or something, but it's currently Monday, September 15th, 12:01. But anyway, I mean, the quote that I was talking about kind of touched on exactly what I was saying about, like, you have all the information you need already. You just can't really bring yourself to sit down and listen to it. And that's exactly what this card was saying. If I find that quote, I'll put it somewhere in the description, or maybe across the screen somewhere over here. I guess we're pulling one of these cards. Earth and Bone Oracle. I've been working with these. Oh, also, I pulled this card for myself earlier. The Wayfarer, Contemplation, Search for Truth, Inner Guidance. And that's going very well with this reading, by the way. Oh, also, I was tripping out when I was saying, like no way, because earlier today I took a nap and I had a very intense, visceral, is that the right word, dream. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that dream was closing up some loose ends, was closing up some old chapters for me. I'll share it with you. Well, not the whole thing, but a part that I feel like is significant for you. In my dream, I seen that I was falling, and that I would essentially hit whatever the ground, right? But I was like, I opened my arms up and I was just ready for the fall. And then it kind of turned into a roller coaster, and I was just like falling, but I was also, there was like roller coaster tracks in front of me. And I was just going up and down and up and down. But the whole time I was like, all right, take me on this ride. Do whatever you need to do. God, spirit, do whatever you need to do. And then finally, at one point, I was just catapulted super high into the sky. And then I just began falling really fast. And I just opened up my arms. And then I could see the ocean below me. And I just was like, all right, here I go. About to dive into the depths. And so I positioned my body to dive into the water. And then I hit the water and everything was just darkness. But I wasn't afraid. My voice cracked there. That's interesting. I wasn't afraid. I was welcoming it. I wanted to say I needed to let God know that I was doing my best to surrender, no matter how scary things were, no matter how it felt in my body to be falling. It's a weird thing to say, right? Considering it's like, yeah, I'm sure God knows that, or the universe, or whoever you resonate with. But here we are. Transformations, end of cycles, beginnings. Exactly. And my dream, it was about some cycles I feel like we're perpetuating, if I want to use that word, from a very long time ago, decades ago. So as I'm saying this, I flipped over self-assurance, integrity, and clear-mindedness. That's great because I was getting a lot of nebulous energy here. So let's see what this one is. Blood moon, illusion, uncertainty, narcissism. I love this coming out because we're moving from this into this illusion, this uncertainty, to this self-assurance, to having integrity, to having a strong will. I want to say a strong will to survive, but not in a sense of in survival mode, but that's what it is. It's like having this just strong desire to have a human experience and to feel everything, the ups and the downs, the scary parts, the scary bits, because through going through all that muck and clearing out all that uncertainty and illusion and narcissistic tendencies, either from within you or the energy around you, you come into this energy of just clear-mindedness. And it's just making me think again of how I dove into the ocean and it was just darkness, but I did feel a sense of peace. And even though it was darkness, it was still very clear, if that makes sense. It was clear that there was darkness. There wasn't any uncertainty of what I was in. Mm-hmm. I want to say that's it. More about clarity, inner calling, more about inner work and deep connections and soul tribe. Yeah. There is an energy here of things balancing out, fairness being had, justice being had. And what's interesting is we have Saturn here, the pointer finger, right? The pointer and the middle finger, the thumb finger, the thumb. And then if you look at this figure's hand, it's almost making that same it's almost making that same like thing with the hand. I'm gonna read Saturn actually. So that is page 95, number 7. 7 is a beautiful number. It's about spiritual growth, about psychological growth, spirits. Wait, what's going on? Why can't I find it? Here it goes. Structure, authority, consequences. I was getting justice card energy for obvious reasons, I think, and that's about cause and effect, right? Consequences. This black and white was also giving me this cause and effect energy. And there is like, these cards are very dark. Well, these cards are just dark, period. All of them are pretty, if you look at them, you know, they all kind of have, there's color there, but the main is, it's pretty dark imagery as far as color goes. These cards, however, there are some pretty, you know, light colored cards and a lot going on there, but we have a lot of depth here. And I feel like this was talking about like spending time in silence, especially at night. But I think, you know, I've been yapping for like almost 20 minutes right now, but the whole message here is everything that you are looking for, as cliche as it sounds, you already have gained that knowledge, information, and wisdom. Now, have the courage, right? I almost said have the balls, have the courage to sit in that. Have the courage to sit with yourself. I'm thinking of the self as the final boss. There could be a lot of fear about what is to come up if you just sit in silence. And I think the very thing that you fear is the very thing that's going to free you from whatever cycles, patterns, habits, beliefs that are hurting you, hindering you, causing you to procrastinate, causing you to always be stuck in this like, why can't I get this right kind of energy. Sit in that silence. Let it envelop you. Just as that, I just kind of let myself dive deep into the depths of the ocean in that dream that I had. Allow it. It's scary as fuck. But you have to allow it. You have to allow it. How do you allow it? Now that is something, that is an answer you will receive once you can just sit in silence. It doesn't have to be this whole light the incense and sitting in meditation, you know, doing all this breath work, meditating for 3 hours every night. Just try 1 minute. Just try 60 seconds first. Just go somewhere where it could be silent for you. Close your eyes and just sit there. You can even set a timer for 60 seconds. And then once you are able to sit there for 60 seconds, maybe you'll think like, oh, okay, I could do this for 5 minutes. Do it for 5 minutes. If you need to add on more time, add on more time. If you need to add on less time as the days go on because you're busy or you're tired, then do that. You can do all of that. Anyways, let me read this. Saturn, structure, authority, consequences. Saturn is known as the great ruler, the authoritative father, and the structuring force. Limitations, rules, logistics, and laws all fall under Saturn's claim, and they insist on your adherence. Saturn constricts, it corrects, it governs. The force of the planet is mind-boggling, oh my God, mind-bogglingly frustrating, especially for creative types, as it can feel like one limitation after another. Yet, its ability to support is unmatched. No creative project can come to be without the Saturnian qualities of commitment, endurance, and steadiness. The trick of the clock reminds us of this planet's steadfast presence, eternally measuring. It's no surprise it's associated with the metal lead and the qualities of destiny and weight. To embrace Saturn is to embrace the foundation and become one's own central authority. It's not as dull or easy as it sounds. That's Saturn's secret. Oh wow. To go deeper, read the poem The Core of Masculinity by Rumi to ponder silence as power. That's crazy. That's crazy. Ironically, and to the amusement of anarchists everywhere, why am I not able to speak or read? The authoritarian energy of Saturn is said to reside in the middle finger. Saturn is deeply related to time and chronology. It is linked to the Greek god Chronos and to Father Time. Consider your relationship with the clock today, and above all, don't be late. I'm going to leave it right there, 24:44 on the clock. So I really hope this was helpful, brought you some insight. Maybe not, actually. Hold on. Let me pull some tarot. This is the Somnia Tarot. Damn, already, that's crazy. 5 of Coins, yeah, 5 of Pentacles. That's that illusion, that's that lack mindset, scarcity mindset, however you want to describe it. But that can also feel like Saturnian energy, where you do feel a little isolated, you do feel down in the dumps, left out in the cold. You are kind of like, yeah, I feel like I was getting that too. It's like, why can't I just get things right here? We also have the Hermit coming out. Virgo energy could be significant. Getting things in order, getting things organized together, cleaning things up. But also the Hermit is about sitting in silence, listening to your own wisdom of your soul, of your heart, not the chatter of everything else, even your own mind. With the Empress, this is power. This is silence as power right here. The Empress, with the Sun. That's beautiful. And the Chariot moving forward, moving toward the Sun by way of silence and using that silence as power. Now, this isn't about like silent treatment. This is about a silent treatment for your damn self, right? Just being quiet. And this is not just talking about like not speaking. This is, when I say silence, I mean like the consumption. Like, what are you consuming here? Stepping away from that. Whether that's social media, books, podcasts, whatever it may be, just like that quote was saying, it's stepping away from all of that. Perhaps just listening to your breath. But yeah, this Empress, she doesn't need to say anything for the river to flow to her. The river just flows to her. She just sits there in all her abundance because she is a powerful being. I'm saying she, but you could be male or female, doesn't matter. I'm just talking about the energy, the depiction of the Empress. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. And that's interesting too, because we have this Venus energy that I showed you and I was talking about, like there's colorful cards in here. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was insightful, gave you some kind of clarity, some way, somehow, and I love you so much. Take care.